Hey guys, it's 5/23/2023. So I'm having a problem with my phone. It's cutting the video off about 2 to 3 minutes. I don't know what's wrong, if I'm out of storage or whatever. I might have to put a memory card in there, which I have one. Might have to put a memory card in there, but and stuff. So I'm still going through it, you guys. I'm still being targeted. Vehicular stalking. We go to the park. There's stalkers there. There's stalkers at the gas station, liquor store, everywhere you go. They're there. I mean, they're just there, you guys. When you're a big TI, they're around everywhere. They're at the park, making my dogs bark and everything else. I'm still going through it. A lot of manipulation, a lot of mind manipulation. Which is a supercomputer. Not everything is supercomputer, you guys. But the you could tell when it's AI, when it's not AI. These guys can hit you manually. They can hit you manually. They can kill your dogs manually. That's not the supercomputer. The supercomputer is not saying, I'm going to kill his dog today. Okay, now they're manually doing that to your dogs and hitting your dogs and everything else. Not everything is supercomputer. They do a lot of things manually, like hit your legs, shock you, cause you pain in certain parts of your body and all this stuff. Not everything is supercomputer like people claim. They can do a lot of this stuff manually. Even in Dr. Duncan's book, he had the software in his book, how they can hit you here, hit you there, and all this stuff. If you haven't read Dr. Duncan's book, read Dr. Duncan's book. It explains a hell of a lot of what's going on with us. I don't believe everything Dr. Duncan says. I think he kind of scares us a little bit. I do think Duncan scares us a little bit, and all this stuff with death and all this stuff, which I don't believe is happening in all of our programs, but he does know what's going on in the program and all this stuff. It's just, I don't believe everything he says, like Brian 2. Brian 2 says, believes everything he says and all this stuff. Like Brian 2 says, this is going to get worse. This is going to get worse. This is going to get so bad that if we disagree with this technology, we're going to be in FEMA camps and all this stuff. It's not going to get to that point. It would never get to that point here in America or around the world. It's not going to get to that point. Brian 2 is a fearmongerer. He likes to put fear into TIs, and he likes to put the fear of death in TIs. Which is what your perps want. So is he a perp or is he a real TI? The perps want to put the fear of death in us. That's what they do in this program. And Brian 2 helps them out by putting the fear of death in you. It's going to get worse. You're going to die. Well, if I'm dead, I'm dead. They can't touch me anymore. I don't care. If we're dead, we're dead, so be it. But that's not going to happen. Brian 2 has been saying things for years and years and years and years, and everything he says doesn't come true. Everything Kyle says doesn't come true. Everything Jamie Lico says doesn't come true. They're gonna be taken out of your house and make you get vaccinated. None of that came true. These people are living in a delusional world, and they don't know what the hell's going on. They watch these goofballs on YouTube and they believe everything. They're taken over. They are taken over. They cannot what's the word? I can't think of the word. They cannot tell reality from this program. They cannot tell what's reality and what's not reality. They can't tell the difference. and they've been saying this stuff for years. Years, you guys. Brian Two's been saying for years we're not going to be able to cross state lines. We can go where the hell we want to go. He's traveled the world. Leave the country. Don't leave the country. Don't leave the country. That'd be the biggest mistake of your life. Chris Burton left the country and they tried to kill him. Do not leave the country. Don't be separated from your family. That is the biggest and the dumbest mistake somebody can make. Do not pick up and leave the country where you know nobody, you can't speak the language, you'll be stuck there and stranded. You'll be sleeping on a street corner somewhere in a foreign country, a third world country that hates Americans, by the way. Go to a country who hates Americans. Go to a country who hates Americans. Do that. That'll save you. That doesn't make any damn sense. Would you do that? Would you go to a country who hates Americans? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. That's the dumbest advice I've ever heard in my life. Go to a country who hates Americans and expect to get help. It makes no sense. That's the dumbest thing. Are you incompetent? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Go to a country that hates Americans and expect to get help because you're an American. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. So don't do that, you guys. Don't leave the country. Maybe travel around the country. Maybe that'll help. But anyway, so, I was looking on YouTube and all this stuff, looking on, Brian Two. I looked up his page. His page is taken down and all this stuff. And, they have big letters, DOD contractor, Brian Two is telling all and all stuff. He's not an intelligence person. He didn't work in intelligence for the DOD. He's not an agent. He's not anything. He built roads. He was a contractor. He built roads for the DOD. Built roads. He's not any intelligence person or anything like that. Just because he says, I work for the DOD and oh my God, I know everything. He's not any intelligence person. He doesn't know any secret information and all this stuff like he claims. Don't believe these people, you guys. They're full of shit. They make videos and their videos are inconsistent and all this stuff, and they want you to believe they're the biggest TI in the world. Oh, biggest TI in the world. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm a star. I'm a rock star. We can't believe these people for anything. I just want to warn you guys. Brian Two knows a lot about this program. He explains a lot of stuff, but it's not exactly what's happening in my program. They're doing a lot of this stuff manually. The supercomputer ain't stealing my battery. They're not pouring water in my gas. They're not, come on, And I've had V2K for a year, you guys, and some of these people claim all this stuff. They're wrong. They are wrong. I've had V2K for a year. They're wrong. They can do this stuff manually, in real time. They're wrong about this stuff, So anyway, that's my video for tonight. I'm not trying to bash anybody. It's just I'm trying to tell the truth. I'm trying to tell you guys the truth. Anyway, I'm going to cut this off. You guys have a good night. I'll talk to you later.